Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music.
He'll like get all barky and jumpy,
Midnight
and you
music.
try to like poop him, kind of like you're playing tag, and then he runs away.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Sounds fun. Sounds like good family fun.
Yeah.
It is good family fun, except it's not my turn. We did that already. We have to wait for mom.
He's looking at you like, what the fuck?
He's like looking. He's like keeps looking between me and the door, being like, "All right, bitch."
Yes.
Boris is like, what is my life?
Do you want to say hello?
Or are you gonna chase? I'm gonna make you run.
Boris is like, at least I know my sex this time, unlike the dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, Boris.
I mean, luckily, it's pretty easy to tell if a dog is a boy or a girl.
Usually, yeah.
Yes. Well, he's getting fixed next week.
Oh boy, I'm sorry.
Me too.
Oh.
Poor dog.
Oh, boy. Wow.
He's
I'm
not gonna
like-
have to much longer.
Yeah.
I'm like so nervous because his cousin Tino, they got him during COVID, and like they couldn't get him fixed until after a year, and Boris is also after a year, and Tino got like is still like a dick like post neutering, where he doesn't like vibe well with like unneutered male dogs. Boris can't even hang out with him until he's fixed. So I'm just so afraid that like
Tito's
I
like,
don't know,
if I
it's
gotta
like-
suffer, you gotta suffer too. Don't be around me, unless you
No,
know
basically-
my pain.
You think you
Tino-
know me?
Tino Boris is like more friendly than Tino is.
Ah.
Like Tino's kind of reactive.
Mhm.
Where like if like we like walk him, like whenever we watch him, like we have to like cross the street if another dog comes by. Whereas Boris can be around other dogs and he's fine. And he has like no issue with other unneutered male dogs. I've never seen him hump a female dog. Like he hasn't humped anything.
Maybe he's gay,
I think that
or
all
maybe
the time.
or maybe he's asexual. It's
Maybe.
completely uninteresting.
Yeah, just like I just want my
But that's
treats
the-
and my cuddles and some zoomies in the morning and in the night.
Or maybe he's
No.
still too young.
No, I feel like he's an adult dog. He's a year and a month now, so he's like he's technically an adult. He's in his like adolescent phase.
Oh yeah, so he should be like trying to hump everything.
Yeah, so he's kind of like he's gonna be pretty much a bratty teenager for the next like 6 months.
Yeah, I had my friend's dog growing up. It was a lab, like golden lab, and it was a girl. But anytime I like bent over, it would hump me like it was a boy. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, go to my Chris, why is Sally, your dog, humping me when it's a girl?
Dogs are so funny.
There's only me. It only humped me. It didn't hump any other friend when they bent over. Just me.
Interesting.
Yeah, Will's thick as fuck. Exactly. Thank you, Taquan. Finally, someone gets it.
You're just oozing with, pheromones, Will.
I guess my 10-year-old self was just. I guess.
Okay. Did anybody hear about the Damien Priest thing?
No.
He was on Chris Van Vliet, and because Chris Van Vliet is essentially the premier. I can't hear you, Kay, for some reason. Chris Van Vliet is essentially the premier, like interviewer now. Like everybody goes on his show, and so he revealed that he had gotten the role or gotten a role to be in Black Panther 2.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw this in our Discord.
Yeah, he was like, I got it.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a great fucking movie.
Black Panther 2.
Yeah, now I can hear you,
Yeah.
Kay.
I also haven't seen it. You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fab. I'm moving all my screens over.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
he's like, I got the role, but I couldn't do it, and Marvel wasn't the one that said I couldn't do it.
that's fucking
Sounds like
crazy.
a Vince thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was going to play a Tuma as well. Some people are potentially saying he was going to be Namor, but I don't see that. I can definitely see him being a Tuma.
He was going to be the Black Panther.
Yeah, right? No. He's probably going to be one of the villains.
He was going to be Puerto Rican Panther.
Well, no.
Not.
Yeah, no. He was probably going to be one of the villains. Which would have been dope to see on the big screen. He'd be like, outside of Batista, he'd be the first active WWE performer to be in a Marvel movie, which would have brought in so much money for WWE.
Yeah, probably a good amount, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's a safe bet.
there's
those movies only make like $1 billion per movie almost.
Yeah.
Exactly, and like,
Wow, I'd say on average, how do you think? Because it's been what 25 Marvel movies since, let's say Iron Man 1.
Are we
Close
at
to that.
25 proper?
I can tell you in a
Or we just
second.
guessing?
25-ish. What do you think the average global box office is?
I can tell
for
you.
all those movies combined.
There's a Google Drive that I'm a part of that actually has all these stats for you.
It tracks all of their gross.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's like at least 500 million.
On average, I'll do some quick math.
Yeah, just do an Excel.
Well, no, they already have it in a spreadsheet in Google Drive, so I can look at it and actually tell you like what some of the stats are for this shindig. There isn't the other one that I don't have.
Or
Damn it, it's the other one, but I don't recall having. Let me double check.
Let me see if I can Google it.
I'd probably say close to about 500 would be the average.
Of Marvel movies since 2008.
I can't believe we've been going to see Marvel movies for almost 20 years already.
Okay, so just the Avengers movies has made an average of nearly 1.9 billion per film.
That sounds about
Jesus
right.
Christ.
And there's been 4 official Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Black Panther made $1 billion on its own. Captain Marvel made close to $1 billion, I believe, on its own. Yeah, Iron Man 3 made the most out of all the Iron Mans, which is ironic, but it makes sense because after the first one, it became like an established IP, so you just kept on wanting to see it. I would say it's probably close. It's upwards of 500 million average, I would assume.
Yeah. Okay. The MCU is the highest grossing film series of all time with a total worldwide box office of 29.8 billion. So divide that by 25 movies. Yeah, it's about 1.9. Or 1 point
Wow.
something, whatever.
Yeah,
29.8 divided by 25.
yeah.
My math here.
And Damian Priest being in a Marvel movie, like there's a lot of crossover between wrestling fans and Marvel, so it would have been nuts. It also been funny.
Yeah, it's like 1.19.
It also been funny if Damian Priest would have been in a Marvel movie before Seth, who got permission to leave to do a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, wasn't he doing a Marvel movie?
He's supposed to be in a new Captain America, but I think his scenes got cut.
Wah, wah. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a Puerto Rican Marvel superhero that hasn't had a movie or anything yet that Damian Priest could potentially play in the future?
From a superhero perspective, I do not believe so.
Puerto Rican superheroes.
White Tiger is not Puerto Rican, is he? I have to double check that in one of my myriad of books.
Marvel Puerto Rican heroes and villains. Here we go.
Well, villains, he would. Well, no, Namor is technically Mesoamerican.
Miles Morales. He's too big for Miles Morales. Yeah, a lot of them are girls, actually.
America Chavez, I believe, is Hispanic.
Tag
might be new.
Slingshot.
Miles Morales. He's too big for Miles Morales. Miles Morales is half Puerto Rican, half black.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it looks like White Tiger would be the only really one, but he wears a mask.
That's fine.
Okay. I was
I
just
guess-
curious. I hope he gets a chance to do Marvel in the future now that Vince is gone.
I guess Damon could probably do like the costume and the stunts for like a White Tiger.
Yeah.
Like they had Samoa Joe be in that movie, but it wasn't his voice.
No, it wasn't a movie. It was Twisted Metal, the show.
That's why it was a TV show.
Yeah, he was the body actor. He was freaking amazing.
Dude, completely unrelated, but Jazz and I watched a Netflix movie the other night. It was the Wrong Missy.
The Wrong Missy?
David Spade.
Oh, God.
And it's a David Spade Happy Madison production.
Oh,
honestly,
Jesus Christ.
The movie was okay, but the movie starts with David Spade going on a blind date, and his date plays a joke on it. It's like I'm this girl like talking to the jacked guy, and the jacked guy's Roman Reigns. So David Spade goes to Roman Reigns equal like this. I'm like, Jazz, that's your tribal chief. Respect your tribal chief.
There's a video I saw the other day of this girl. She was in the car. She's like, I hate when you do this. She's like, come on, get in the car. He's like, nope, not until you acknowledge me.
Not until you acknowledge me.
We call Boris the tribal chief. So whenever SmackDown's on, we put the ones up for Boris.
That's incredible.
He is the tribal chief.
I watch it in bed. I put the ones up anytime Roman Reigns is on screen. I'm not gonna lie. Once he beat Cody, I put the one up. Once Solo beat Cody, I put the one up. I betrayed my tribal chief.
Oh, White Tiger is confirmed for the new Daredevil. I hope Priest does it. He seemed like when I listened to the interview, like he seemed really disappointed that he didn't get it.
I mean, yeah, you want to try to pay
That's such a bummer.
Yeah.
You know how much royalties he'd be making?
Yeah, exactly. He'd make a crap ton, especially with the Black Panther franchise.
Like Endgame on its own made $2.9 billion.
Endgame was the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
More
it
than
better be.
Titanic?
Much more than Titanic.
Well, if you adjust it for inflation. it would be a lot more too.
Yeah, it was still the highest grossing movie ever. And then James Cameron's like, you know what? I'm gonna re-release Avatar to have it be again the highest grossing movie by a fucking technicality.
Oh, James Cameron.
Yeah,
Boo.
yeah. I was like, you're fucking.
Something
dick.
more like James Bitter.
That's exactly what
I
happened.
mean, damn, James, you got 2 of the top 3 highest gross movies of all time. I think that's enough.
Yeah, and I think they're doing another Avatar. I'm like, fucking stop, James Cameron.
They're doing
a third
it
one.
in 5.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like 5 more.
Yeah, no, I was done after 1, which was Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
I
dude.
didn't like the first one at all.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I walked out. Like, it
Did
was,
you walk out of Avatar?
Wait. Finally, I finally found my people. I've been talking shit on this movie for 15 years, and people tell me that I have bad taste or that I didn't understand. I'm like, no, it's boring.
No, the movie's not that
The
good.
movie's not
I didn't
good.
It's
see it-
just special effects.
I didn't see it in theaters, to be fair. This was like senior year of high school after like our last band concert. It was so like a month left of school, so you don't do anything but watch movies.
So you walked out of
So-
class?
No, it was in like the auditorium, like the school auditorium.
Yeah.
So you could either hang out and watch the movie, or you can hang out in the band room and like just jam or hang out and do homework or whatever. So I watched Avatar and I was like, this movie sucks, and I walked out and just called it a day.
Yeah, Avatar came out. It came out in 2009. So I was a senior in high school when it came out in theaters. And I remember I don't like IMAX movies IMAX is but I don't like 3D. Like it gives
That
me
makes
a huge
sense.
migraine.
Yeah,
It
no,
gives
I
me
understand.
It gives me migraines, but
Yep.
like back then I would try to power through the 3D movies because like that's what you did back then. But I was adamant on not going to see Avatar. I'm like, this movie looks stupid. I am not going to see this fucking movie in like IMAX 3D. Like it doesn't worth it to me. The movie's good. It'll be good without the special effects. So I bootlegged it and I watched it on like watchmovies.com and fucking it was awful. I hated it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's Pocahontas in blue.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Pocahontas in blue, Titanic, and
Ferngully.
every other James Cameron movie ever made,
Yeah.
except Aliens or Terminator. He didn't make Aliens; he made
I mean,
Terminator.
Terminator. Apparently, Romulus was really good. I'm not an Aliens person.
Oh,
but
was it?
I didn't watch it, but I've heard good things about
Yeah, dude, I'm a Predator. I'm a Predator guy.
Predator's fucking dope.
Yeah, dude, Predators. I ain't got time to bleed. I heard Jesse Ventura like is in talks with WWE again, and I've never been so excited.
Have
Yeah, I
you
heard that too.
have you seen the video? Well,
Victoria's coming back.
Victoria got a Legends contract.
Mhm.
Oh, that's who that was. I was trying to think who it was. I didn't recognize her.
Victoria got.
They're calling it a nostalgia contract now.
Listen, words are words.
I don't like that. That's really dumb. Call it a Legends contract.
No, there is a Chris Van Vliet had Jesse Ventura on, the surprise Jesse Ventura. Apparently, Karrion Kross does an accurate Jesse Ventura.
Dude,
It's really good.
Just see the body. I was the governor of Minnesota. And what you have to understand, McMahon, is that doing an impression really shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, Karrion Kross does an on point one.
I mean, dude, how do you not love Jesse the Body? He's the best. He's the fucking best. I don't know why I listen to him talk about politics for hours, but I can listen to him talk about fucking anything, including politics, for hours.
Oh man! Speaking of Legends contract, apparently JBL is still on a Legends contract, although he's been showing up at indie shows.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like,
Isn't he
damn,
on TNA?
JBL.
He showed
good
up on
for you.
TNA. Yeah, he showed up on TNA's pay per view.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so
He's like, man, I miss hazing young wrestlers.
so somebody asked him, they're like, "Yo, what are you doing showing up?" He goes, "Honestly, I'm just scouting for Triple H."
I mean, at least he's honest. He's like, I'm not here because I care. I'm here because I was asked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's freaking amazing. Apparently, as long as he can show up to other indie promotions, as long as he doesn't replicate his WWE gimmick. So him showing up in like a long coat and a cowboy hat isn't exactly JBL, so it works out.
What if
Isn't
he
he-
wore a short coat and cowboy hat?
Wait, why can't he do his gimmick?
It's a contractual thing in the Legends contract.
Interesting.
Oh.
Bizarre.
Apparently. Apparently so. But I'm
And
excited.
first I said I'm a predator guy, not a predator, which isn't much better to be honest. But I stand by it.
Surprised no one's done like a spoof of like To Catch a Predator, and he actually catches predators and not like the predator alien, and not like an actual predator.
It'd be a really expensive SNL skit.
But it'd be so worth it.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. You kidding me? Hell yeah.
Rather, they could have done it on the hell's that claymation show from Adult Swim?
Robot
Chicken.
Oral.
Robot chicken.
Robot Chicken.
Robot chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Green could have done that. Totally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Would have been absolutely batshit insane. R.I.P. Cartoon Network too.
I know. I saw that. I was
so
like,
sad.
damn, dude, how do you shut down Cartoon Network? Where are the kids gonna get their cartoons?
Well, they're gonna air, I don't think on like HBO Max or whatever. It's just Cartoon Network Studios shutting down.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, they all most of them are all on HBO Max anyway.
yeah.
Like if you ever want to just watch Courage again, you can.
It's never a big.
You wanna know
Courage
how
fan.
old I felt today?
What?
I watched YouTube during work just to have like background noise.
Oh, same.
And their Cartoon Network went live today, and they were celebrating the 20th anniversary of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Wow.
I feel so old.
I remember that show debuting, but I didn't watch it. I was more of a Nickelodeon guy.
I was too.
Obsessed.
But
Me too.
90s Cartoon Network, totally I watched all of
Top
it.
notch.
But 2000s, I didn't watch Codename Kids Next Door. I didn't watch Foster's. I didn't watch the Grimm and Billy and Mandy. But I know all of them.
I was a
Billy and Mandy was cute, but I didn't like watch it regularly. Foster's was the only 2000s Cartoon Network show I really watched.
Yeah.
But I was always
My friends like
Nickelodeon
Codename Kids
above
Next
all.
Door.
It's a big
Yeah,
fan
they
of
make
Two
sense.
Stupid Dogs when it was in its prime.
Mr. Frets, I feel so old I don't have an idea what that is.
That's true because you are old, Frets.
And you're Canadian.
Nah, just old. What else was I gonna say? Two Stupid Dogs. Any of you guys watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Okay,
No.
so fun fact about Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Yes, I was afraid of Brack as a child.
Brack was the best character. He was
I
so
was- okay.
ridiculous.
I've
Like,
never heard of it.
I would.
What was it called?
What?
Space Ghost
Space
Coast.
Ghost Coast to Coast.
So it's based on a superhero character named Space Ghost, and in the thing, it's like it's a.
Why is Hulk Hogan coming up?
I don't know.
Was
4
Hulk
best
Hogan on
celebrity
Space
interviews on
Ghost?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
because it was like a spoof of a late
A
night
late night show.
of a late night show, but it was with cartoon characters,
Oh, I've heard of this. We've talked about this before.
and then then
Yeah.
they'd have real people on it.
Yeah, it was like Eric Andre, but for cartoons.
It's a great okay, so it's a great show. Just I started watching it when I was like young, like too young to be watching it.
Space, yeah,
But
me too.
The reason I was afraid of Brack is in Saturday mornings, Cartoon Network used to have the shows called Cartoon Planet,
I feel like
and
I
it
remember
had like it was like the in between the cartoons they would show, they would have like clips of like Space Ghost, Brack, and what's the other one? Zorak, the green one.
this. Yeah,
Them just like doing shit.
Sitting
But
doing a
Brack,
dog.
yeah.
but Brack always scared the shit out of me. It wasn't until like years later that I realized he was actually like funny.
Yeah, Space Ghost Coast to Coast is clearly like someone's idea that they greenlit.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's like half of kids network television.
It was such a high idea, and it worked really great.
Like, do you guys remember JetX?
No,
It was a network.
What?
It was like part of a network. It was like the WB turned into it was called JetX. They showed like Power Rangers and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, kind of. That sounds from. I
Kinda.
remember like that block of programming. I don't remember Jet.
Yeah, it was like an actual network. It was a block of programming on another network.
Jetix was a block on Toon Disney, according to Taquan.
Toon Disney, that was it. Yeah, Toon Disney, that was it.
Yeah,
I forgot about Toon Disney.
TV. Yeah, dude, Toon Disney was a shit. JTIX, Jetix.
yeah. Also, before we get started, are we aware of the fact that Wendy's is making a legitimate Krabby Patty meal?
Krabby Patty.
Yo,
Eh.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Eh. Yeah. I heard it now. Is this indifferent?
Wendy's was my
I think it's gonna be a cheeseburger.
Wendy's was my first job in high school, and 20 years later, Wendy's is finally redeeming itself.
Did you not like
With this
working at
Krabby Patty.
Wendy's?
That job was a shit show. I
Oh,
was
I
like
bet.
6. Oh my god, it was my first job. I was 16 years old. I had no chill. Like I got fired from this job.
What was the reason?
Okay, they should have fired me long before this. Like I've cursed out customers. I've gotten into like verbal arguments with customers. Didn't get fired. I got fired for calling out sick and my coverage not showing up.
You got fired for someone else's idiocy?
Yep. So
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just need an excuse. That's what that is.
Yeah.
They hated me.
Sounds like you should have worked
they
at Waffle House, Kay.
We didn't have Waffle House in Suffolk County, New York.
I'm just saying you fit the Waffle House archetype.
Oh my god, no, it's so funny because now I'm like so customer service and I'm like so good with it. But like when I was 16 at my first job, I didn't have the patience to mask around people. Like my first day, I had someone call me, excuse my language, I got called a retard on my first day. Because I was trying to figure out the POS because like they didn't train me. Like my first day pretty much, they're like, yeah, here's the register, here you go. And I'm like, what?
How do you not get trained on the POS at a fast food restaurant?
They showed me for like 5 minutes, if that, like not substantial training. It was like not good. They kind of just like threw me in and expected me to like pick it up right away. And I didn't. Like it was too fast paced for me at the time. And I did not have the patience for bitchy customers. I wasn't going to take it. I almost fought a bitch because she didn't understand the concept of a wrap being cold. Do you remember the crispy chicken wraps from Wendy's?
Yes. They were good.
All right. I will never forget this as long as I live. This fucking bitch wanted one of the crispy wraps, and they make the chicken hot.
Yeah.
But everything else on the sandwich is cold.
Everything else is cold. Yeah.
The tortilla is cold. The sauce is cold. The cheese is cold.
Makes
the
it taste
lettuce is
better, to be
cold.
honest with you.
So we give her the wrap, and she complains she wants a new one because she's like, it's cold. And we're like, okay. So we make her another one, and she's like complaining, and she like keeps like wanting us to remake it. And she's like, the wrap's cold. And then finally I can't take it anymore. I'm like, it has cold fucking ingredients on it, bitch. That's why it's cold.
Like
And
it's
she's like
supposed to be cold.
Yeah, I'm 16 yelling at this woman.
Losing your mind.
Losing it. I did not get fired. I got pulled from register for the day, but they're like, did not fire me for this. Like I was not good at this job. My coworkers hated me because they thought I was dumb. Like
lady, if you want hot food, get the nuggets.
Like if you
Seriously.
Exactly. We had a customer, we called him Hot Nugget Man because his order was hot nuggets, make sure they're hot. So we would always make the fresh ones for him.
Listen, that's great.
He was like an 80-year-old man. He was so
Oh, you gotta
nice.
give him what he wants.
No, I worked there 20 years ago. I remember his Wendy's order to this day.
I want to say about next round Wendy's. Hot nuggets make it hot.
Make him hot.
Make them hot. Sure, is that spicy nuts?
Hot Nugget Man.
R.I.P. I'd say R.I.P. to that man too. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, he might not be here. Yeah.
I think about that often. I'm like, Hot Nugget Man's long dead, probably.
Yeah, my grandfather also loved Wendy's.
Back in the day, I feel like Wendy's was so good for old people because it had like the baked potato and the chili, and it was cheap. Like Sunday mornings at Wendy's after church used to be lit. Because the old people would go there after church.
Okay, I can't picture you at church. Okay, when's the last time you went to mass?
Not for a wedding.
Yes, not for a wedding. Wait, not for a wedding or funeral.
For a funeral.
Yeah.
Again, this still wasn't my choice. I was 16. I went with my friend Mike's family.
16's a really bad year for you, isn't it?
I had a rough time at 16. But like I was dating my friend Mike at the time, and his family was super religious, and I lived right near the church that his family went to.
So you had no excuse.
Well, we both worked at Wendy's together. So I went to mass with him, and his mom dropped us off at work after mass because we both had to be at work at like 12 o'clock. So I went to mass with them, whatever. And I shit you not, the entire sermon was just them talking like anti-gay. I've never been to this church in my life, and I'm literally just sitting there. I'm like, okay. And Mike's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's like, I've never heard this happen at this church before. I'm like, it's like they knew I was here. The whole sermon was just like, gay people are bad.
Dude, it
like,
sounds like when someone in the parish got caught like slobbing knob in the back of the room, and they have to, like give a sermon saying how it's bad.
No, for real. And I have not been in a church since for like, besides reasons for like weddings and funerals and shit. I'm not religious at all.
No, I'm not surprised. Least surprisingly, I've heard all day. But I think it is one of my favorite things ever when like a severe televangelist comes out as like, you know, getting caught at a glory hole in the gas station bathroom.
It's wildly descriptive, but yes.
This gargling cock.
After making billions of dollars.
Yeah, after making billions of dollars saying how much you shouldn't gargle cock.
I want Joel Osteen to get busted on some shit in the worst way.
He hasn't yet?
I don't think so.
Who?
If he had Joel Osteen, that like televangelist that like does the Sunday morning like services on TV.
Yeah, I know TD Jakes got potentially caught with some stuff. Or I think TD Jakes was caught at a Diddy party.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's way worse.
Yeah. There's
That's
that.
very worse.
There's that. But yeah. So, you know, on that lovely note, we're ready to get started.
What time? Yeah. Oh shit, it's 8:15. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
It's gonna be a long show.
Not really.
All right.
Are we doing? Is today all out?
Today is All Out, and the match card is like half of what it was for All In.
Incredible.
Oh, thank God. Let me go for Bash in Berlin. All right, 5, 4, 3,
You can
2.
have this back. There you go.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, we showed no mercy, we bashed in Berlin, and now we have to go all out. Because, yes, we're pretty frequently going over AEW because AEW is doing the WrestleMania backlash to their WrestleMania in AEW All Out live from some arena in Chicago. That's not the Allstate or United Center because that's what AEW does these days. So sit back, relax, and make sure you go look up for Odyssey Jones at the alumni page. Trick question. He's not even there. It's Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 388, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now.
Man, you did that man dirty. Yeah, it's true.
Seriously, Odyssey Jones, can we officially say he is the worst draft pick in WWE history?
I mean, he's up there. I mean, he was on TV
Twice.
and he got twice,
Twice.
and then he got rightfully pulled off TV for allegations.
Yeah,
and then allegedly fired.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if it's true, fuck him, right?
Yeah.
Fuck him straight to hell.
He's
a dirtbag.
officially he's not on the WWE's website at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been scrubbed.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. Drafted twice in 2 years, made appearance twice in 2 years, and then very quickly was gone.
I mean, we've also seen, to be fair, though, plenty of instances, not so much domestic violence or domestic assault, whatever the accusation was, but previous accusations that turned out to be false, like JD McDonough. Was JD McDonough's false?
It wasn't JD. Are you thinking?
Was
Yes,
Cafe
it was.
changed his name? It
Was
was
it JD?
Devitt? Was it Devitt?
No, he was Jordan Devlin at the time.
Yeah.
Because that's when he was on my daddy list. And
Yeah.
then he got called out.
Correct.
So
Same thing with Zachary Wentz, formerly of MSK.
and MSK, I think Austin Theory might have had one too.
He did.
He did.
So Just because an accusation doesn't mean it's true, but they definitely did the right thing pulling him off TV.
Yeah.
And if it's that they fired him, makes me think, yeah, there's some truth.
Yeah,
to it.
there probably is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to King's Rings Podcast, episode number 388. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us if you're watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, yes, Facebook and Twitch, or if you guys are, yes, woohoo, maybe Instagram sometime in the very near future when I figure out how to actually do that. If you're listening to us, thank you guys for listening to us. If you're listening to us a little bit later than the time that we are recording the show, please take some time out to leave a like, share, some comments, links to all of our good stuff, including some of our fantastic merch. We're wearing some Pride merch right now. The links to all of that are in the description below. With me, as always, the man, the founder, the guy who's finally identified as a butch, Will Tarashak. How are you?
I'm identifying as a butch.
Yeah, you'll understand that in some time.
I know what a butch is.
Oh, it's not that butch that you're thinking of.
Oh, okay. So I'm not a lesbian.
No.
Nice. You have to explain to me in the post show like this. And that's other than the name Butch. I don't know what a butch is. So is this a TikTok thing like Demure?
No, it's not. Casey, I told you. I told you he wouldn't get it. Yeah, you just you need to watch this.
K Murphy, do you know what Butch is?
Yes.
Oh, God
You'll
damn
find
it.
out later.
I hate being out of the loop.
Don't worry.
Maybe they're bored with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I literally had nothing else to do for you, Kay. That's why.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything eventful this
Although
week.
now that you had your hair down, it does kind of work.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've had my hair done on the show in like 1,000 years.
Yeah, Google just said it's a lesbian.
Yeah, no.
So Google doesn't even
Well,
Google doesn't
This
know.
is more wrestling
Butches
related.
are lesbians.
But that's true. Butches are lesbians. Yeah, but this is more wrestling related. Hint it. It's in the Discord somewhere. You'll find it at some point.
Oh, okay. Oh, Butch, like Pete, not like Pete Dunne Butch.
Kind of. Yes.
Nice. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting
You're
close.
You're getting close. You're getting close. You'll figure it out at some point.
I really don't want to search for it. Frets, help me out here. Be a friend. Be a pal.
I think Frets is working, so he might be just listening to us.
Mr. Fretz is at work.
Yeah. You'll get it at some point.
This looks like I'm fucked.
Listen, I've called you worse things on this show.
Yeah, like last week it says you thought I didn't think I don't know, mayonnaise wasn't spicy. Ketchup was spicy.
That would have been funny if I thought mayonnaise was spicy.
No, next week should be the he bought the mayonnaise cologne. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it
too.
Just to be like, okay, this can't really smell like mayonnaise.
You gotta go on an outing once with like Jazz or something. And she's like,
you know what? I'm gonna
mayonnaise?
Google it right. I'm gonna Google it right now. If it's under $50, I'm buying it.
It's not a gimmick, right? That they're actually making mayonnaise.
No, it's
cologne.
real.
Yeah,
it's real.
You gotta find out the price for me. You really have to.
I
It's
think you need...
Will Levis number 8, $64 on eBay.
Ew.
Negotiable.
You need to buy it, and then like you need to note how you go through life wearing perfume that smells like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Like, how do people treat you smelling like mayonnaise?
They were like, "Damn, dude, you smell like a hot dog."
You should make that a fantasy football punishment, like loser of the league.
Loser has to buy mayonnaise.
Has to wear mayonnaise cologne for a month.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna text my because we do a toilet bowl
Yes.
in our league.
Okay.
Where the loser gets something silly, they buy him a silly gift. I'm gonna propose
The mayonnaise.
We buy them the mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise cologne would be absolutely perfect.
I keep seeing on TikTok people doing those like 24-hour like diner or Waffle House challenges that they use fantasy.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I would be in a Waffle House or a diner for 24 hours. Why the fuck not?
No, I feel like that's not a hard.
It's not a punishment. That's a
punishment.
reward.
Waffle House is delicious.
Yeah,
First of all,
Waffle House
exactly.
is so good.
you know, I know we were sideburging on Waffle House in the in our pre-show, and I wanted to make the point that Ricky, actually the three of us should all open a Waffle House in Suffolk County and just double the prices. No one will have any idea.
Honestly, if we can get a franchise
Okay.
for it, I think you might be
Where in
right.
Suffolk County should we put a Waffle House?
Montauk.
No, too far.
No. My
You wanted to
first
be
thought
wanna be
is
like a
middle country road in Center Reach.
Oh, Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma could work. Even around me could work. Bayshore's up and coming.
Bayshore would work.
Yeah. We can do a lot of places for a Waffle House. Great. We'll call it We'll have like random like wrestling specials for Waffle House, just exclusive to our shop.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll have a meal called the Slack, and it'll be just like one piece of bacon.
Canadian bacon.
Yes, female as they may call it, as well. But anywho,
Canadian bacon and poutine would be the Slack.
God, that sounds
that
incredible.
does sound incredible, actually.
It sounds amazing.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. So yeah, we're gonna go a lot into AEW and All Out, and luckily for all of us, it's not a mega show. Thank the freaking Lord. But before we get to that, let's take a look back at last weekend's Bash in Berlin, which yes, the German crowd is still really horrifyingly scary when they chant in unison.
Yeah. They were really good too. They were a good crowd. I mean, nothing's ever gonna beat that French crowd.
No, or the Puerto Rican crowd.
I would rank. Yeah, I was gonna say I would rank these Germans third below France and Puerto Rico.
I agree.
Yeah. Fantastic crowd. Pretty good PLE, kind of predictable. It was interesting to see Randy and Gunther put on pretty much a literal mat classic.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Gunther was just in his element. Nothing special, just bare bones. Just I'm gonna hit you harder, and at one point, I'm just gonna choke you out when I'm finished with you.
I like Randy taking a crowd break. He did the wave.
With everybody.
Dude, something about the wave in wrestling just works so well because it's the arena.
It's done well, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
haven't
works.
done the wave at a wrestling show in a really long time.
Neither have I. I don't think I've ever done the wave at a wrestling show.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
I feel like they did the wave at Mania 35.
Maybe?
I definitely did the wave at Mania 35.
Hmm.
I know I didn't sit with you guys, so maybe that's why.
Was it when you guys
But-
couldn't see?
Yes.
That's probably why. Makes a lot of sense. When they shine the light in your eyes.
Yo, so bright.
But yeah, no, the card was rather decent. Jade and Bianca won their titles back. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is the feud that will never end at all whatsoever.
Nor should it. I mean, it was a great match. I told you
so
guys
good.
they were gonna do the spot. I called Punk's gonna be on his back and hitting the corners.
Yeah.
And behind Drew because they do the exact same spots in every single one of these fucking matches.
Cody and KO
Right.
was good. I think, for my opinion, outside of a strap match, I think match of the night was Dom and Liv and Rhea and Damien. That was a really fun match to watch.
They told a great
I
story
agree.
too.
Yeah, it did. It really did, and it's obviously continuing on. But Kay, any thoughts on Bash in Berlin?
I loved Bash of Berlin. That it was a work day kind of pay-per-view for me, so I was
Makes sense.
bummed. Yeah, it was something that like I wish my Wi-Fi went out. So I could have just watched it. It was so good. It was so fun. The German crowd, very scary. But I am really happy for European crowds finally getting to go to live wrestling events.
Mhm.
They're so happy, and Americans are so ungrateful. And it was a really good show.
Yeah, these are their WrestleManias. I didn't get a chance to watch the post show at all because, unfortunately,
I did.
Unfortunately, Bash in Berlin was also the same day as the first week of college football, so I was
You had priorities.
was busy.
Sure.
Yeah, you had priorities.
I was very, very busy. However, there was some vitriol that you can probably talk about a little bit, Kay, when Bianca and Jade came to the presser and answered some questions. Triple H did not show up
Mhm.
because one of Triple H's daughters was starting college and he wanted to be there.
That
Fair
makes
enough.
me feel old too.
Yeah. It's also very true. Shane McMahon's son is a recruit for North Carolina football.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, North Carolina football, not basketball.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Still impressive.
Yeah. The other one,
very impressive.
I think the
very
second one is a recruit for Indiana
Oh, cool.
football, which is not impressive at all. To be completely honest with you. But yeah, no. So do you want to elaborate, Kay, on what was asked of Jade and Bianca and the really awkward situation they were put in?
So pretty much like at the start of their interview, Jade was pretty much asked about AEW and like how I don't remember the question verbatim, so like paraphrasing a bit, but they were asking like how different her experience has been since coming to AEW and what has it been like for Bianca to work with Jade now that she's not in AEW and that they're together. And Jade flat out was like, I am sick of being asked about AEW. Like, I work here now. Like, this, my focus is on here and the future, and I just want to move forward.
Yeah, she was like, guys, I've been signed with WWE for over a year. We don't have to talk about this anymore.
I get that. I get that, but honestly, I think it's a fair question. I do think it's a fair question, but you know, asked and answered. Because now, sorry, go ahead, Kay.
No, I said I will say, like, I feel like that now that the press seems to have more freedom to ask questions about AEW by name, because I'm noticing a lot more people are mentioning AEW by name instead of just saying like where they were or the other place.
Yeah.
I feel like people are taking advantage of that. So Jade's been here a year. The question's old news, but now they're like, oh, we can say AEW. We can ask.
Yeah, there was also another question that was asked, and I forgot what it was. But the reporter who was like, he's like, "Hey, so and so from so and so." He's like, "You know, we don't pit black women against each other, but," and like act some sort of like,
stop it,
yeah,
stop it. I'd be like, "Fuck you." Next question. I'm not even answering your stupid question.
They looked so mad.
I would have been pissed too.
I don't remember the second half of the question, but he starts. He's like, we don't pit black women against each other. I was just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like, that's just not something you should like. Why?
Well,
why do we need to do that at all?
I think it was at the Mania presser when there was Jade, Bianca, Naomi. One of the reporters asked, like, you know, what does this moment mean for, you know, black girls and young black girls and, you know, people looking like you or yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And Bianca answered the question beautifully. She was like, yeah, it's great, but, you know, we've been doing this for the past few years. I kind of want to move on to the idea of, you know, it's not just black girls, it's all girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to represent a culture more than just who I am and that identity politics. It's more of, you know, I want young boys to look up to me too, not just young black girls.
I look up to Bianca, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I look up to Bianca too. She has a great story. She's a crazy athlete. She's great in the ring. She's great with kids. So she's everything you want in a role model, right?
Yeah.
I love
her. But I love how she answered that question. It's just like, guys, this race and identity, I'm sick of it. Like, I've been there. I've done this. I've answered this question. Let's move on to something bigger and better. And I think that's totally fair as a performer, where you don't want to be like, yes, black girls are going to look up to me, as they should. But you know what? Well, young white boys should also look up to me for the exact same reasons young black girls should look up to me.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was a very awkward experience for them at Bash in Berlin.
Yeah, it's a weird question to ask anybody about race unless something specifically happened around race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, if you're gonna have like another George Floyd, and yes, obviously ask questions about race, that's when it's appropriate. But if nothing happened on TV related to race, why even bring it up? It's just not important.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah, it was a very awkward presser, which at some point I will watch. But it seemed like it was a rough one. It was a rough one.
Someone asked. The one thing I saw, someone asked Cody about the Vince documentary.
Oh yeah, that was awkward too.
He was like, "Do you plan on watching it?" And Cody was just like, "You know, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now, so when I get around to it." But he was like, "No, no." And all.
That's a good save. That's a good save.
Yeah, no, it was. But then he actually seriously answered the question. He's like, "Listen, the boys in the back, like, we." No, we all are aware of it, but we don't really talk about it. We're more focused on putting on a show and the crowd in the business moving forward. And then he asked him, do you believe the allegations? And Cody was just like, I'm not fucking answering that question. He's like, I don't know enough about it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Asked and answered. Again, as a journalist, that's a very fair question because that was released about the documentary the day of. And part of your job as a journalist is to ask those tough questions to the top people in the company, being Triple H, Cody, and whomever else.
Yeah.
So fair question, and Cody's a pro and knew how to answer it.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with his answer, nothing wrong with the question, but it was definitely worth mentioning.
I will say whoever's doing media training with WWE now is doing a really good job with them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because a lot
LA
of these
Knight, LA
presser
Knight needs some
answers.
work, but yeah.
Well, not everyone's like flawless or anything, but like a lot of these answers, specifically Cody, Jade, Bianca, very thoughtful answers, but also like very real answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like
why I
they
like-
feel like real people.
That's why I like the presser. Okay, I don't know if you were on a few weeks ago when I asked Ricky this question, but I asked him if you prefer the pressers to be like in character or
Oh, yeah.
the real life person.
We did talk about this.
Because like it was with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton specifically after Nia won the belt. Because Nia's
Yes,
like
I was
Nia's-
not present.
like Nia's a heel, right?
Yeah.
And she's presented as a heel, and Tiffy is an up and coming heel. But in the presser, you know, Nia had a real life, I don't know her real name, but moment where
Leah Fania.
no, I'm just gonna yeah,
Lena.
sure.
Lena, sorry.
Like I'm just gonna be me and give you a real answer. Now, Kay, you as a fan, I guess as a podcaster and commentator, do you prefer them to be in character, or do you prefer them to be their real selves?
I think it depends on what the presser is trying to accomplish with the presser.
Mm.
So I actively, it's not a secret, I'm not a fan of Nia Jax as a wrestler. I talk shit on her as a wrestler regularly. However, and I was,
So
and I
have
was
we. I've had my fair share.
no.
Yeah.
So I was actually talking to Liv about this recently, and I like that she doesn't know as much about wrestling because she's understanding what I'm saying now. So I was explaining to her how unsafe of a worker Nia Jax is. So now I have this narrative fed into her head. So now she hates Nia Jax. How I really liked Nia Jax on Total Divas. I like her as a person. And the presser with her and Tiffany Stratton, I'm like, wow, I actually don't fucking hate her right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was
I feel
it was
like-
a moment after she won a title too, so it's okay to have some like you know,
Emotion.
Yeah, like I
It's
feel
not
like
real.
you can be facey and emotional. Sorry, I was having tech problems. You can be facey and emotional and a presser despite being a heel character. If you like win a title or something, that's fine. But like, if Nia Jax is going to continue to kiss babies on every presser and then be a heel on TV, that might be a little weird.
Yeah.
So my answer is yes. I like both, but it just depends on what you use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's I like that. Ricky pretty much said the same thing. That's where I fall as well. You know, you got tools in your tool chest.
Use
You
them.
gotta make sure you pick the right one for the right
Yeah.
one for the right occasion.
Yeah. It was like
Right. You think I talk for a living?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's almost like, so it reminds me of, we talked about this a while ago when they weren't really doing the pressers, but they had like Raw Talk or Talking Smack like right after an event and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And there was one time where the only person I know who was able to be like a real person, then jump into character at the same time, it was Bliss. She had just won a title. And
Oh yes, I remember this.
she got super
Yeah.
like real life
Yeah.
emotional. Then on the flip of a switch, she went back to being a heel.
I forget.
love
I
that.
think it was maybe what was her name? Moxley's wife.
Renee.
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 Cat?
Yeah, Renee Paquette asked her a question. She's like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
And then she was right back into
into it,
character.
yeah.
I remember we talked about it because I was like, that is impressive. Because that was probably the
Mhm.
tables match when she beat Becky Lynch.
It
for
was the
first title,
tables. It
too,
was the tables. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So that was huge.
Yeah.
That was definitely huge. Yeah, that's very hard to do as a performer.
Yeah, and she was fantastic with it. So moving on from Bastion Berlin, we saw his name and he did appear, but unfortunately he did lose the main event.
Wait, we gotta crown it. We gotta crown Bash and Berlin.
It was actually lower than an 8 for me. I'll give it a 7.5.
I think last week I said it was gonna be a 7.5. And I said I was gonna give it like an 8.5 for the crowd. So yeah, 8. I'll give it a strong 8.
I also am giving it a 7.5.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
It's fine.
Oh, I'm the high horse up here. Who'd have thought? You don't see that very
You were
often.
the high horse, but yes. But anywho, back to NXT No Mercy, which was on Sunday in Denver. Quite a hell of a turnaround. Like I said, we said his name. He did not appear, but he did appear, but he still did lose, which is.
What do you mean? He's right there. I see him.
Oh yeah, you're finally figuring that out. I've had that there for.
I see him every week. I'm just mentioning.
Yes, Joe Henry did lose, but he was well worth the main event, and it was a fantastic, wild finish. Kay, I know you were watching it alongside with me for a bit. With Trick Williams as a special guest referee, who's probably the most enthusiastic special guest referee ever.
Oh, I loved him as a ref.
Yeah.
I would watch him ref
He
a lot more.
he pretty much had an open shirt ref vest.
I love it.
that
You know, it's a bit of Sean's idea.
probably. He didn't have a shorts though. He did not have a shorts at all whatsoever. But it was a crazy finish. Ethan Page irks one out We also had Wesley lost to Zachary Wentz, who the night before won the TNA X Division Championship. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, they had a show on like Saturday or Friday. Yeah, they won the X Division Championship, so he came, beat Wesley, which is kind of a shocker. So that was a TNA person that was gonna win. Chase U lost the tag titles to Nathan Frazier and Axiom, and then
Did I call that?
no,
I didn't.
we all
I
called
didn't. I
Chase
called the other
U.
one.
We all called.
Yeah, we all thought it was gonna be Chase too
I
because
don't
he just won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any of my predictions.
Yeah, Ridge Holland ended up
For the
turning
most
on
part.
Chase U, which I kind of didn't see coming. Oh yeah, Obafemi beat Tony D'Angelo because of course Obafemi's beating Tony D'Angelo.
I heard that match was bonkers.
It
though.
was brutal. Tony
Yeah, it was.
D'Angelo looked really good. Really, really good. But I remember Kay texted me during the event, and Kay's like, I'm already an Obafemi fan.
Yeah.
K-
Yeah, Kay, it was your first time watching NXT in a very long time. What did,
This
you, what
is
did you
my-
think?
Okay, this is my first time watching NXT since 2.0. I believe the last live event I watched for NXT was probably the last takeover.
Oh
Whatever the
wow.
last
It
takeover
was like 31 or 32.
Something like that. Yeah, I gave up on NXT really quickly during the 2.0 era because like
Yeah.
it's not my thing. But Joe Hendry is literally the only reason I watched it. And I had a really good time. Like I low key and bummed I'm not watching NXT right now just because Pete Dunne is on it. But I'm invested in what Pete Dunne and Trick are doing. I really did enjoy this show. Like I was frying chicken cutlets and like cursing out Tony D'Angelo. It was very Long Island, very fun. It was a
He'd
good show.
appreciate that.
He would.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Obafemi won. Roxanne beat Jada Parker in a pretty good match. Jada Parker looked really good. Will, you would have loved the promo for Jada Parker and Roxanne. So they had like a sit down backstage on NXT, like the week leading into No Mercy. And so we're talking shit back and forth to each other. And Jada Parker goes to Roxanne. She goes, Roxanne, I'm going to slap the taste out of your mouth. And so Roxanne starts talking, and then Jada gets up and slaps her to the floor.
Wow. Hell yeah, red team.
It
all right.
was, it was great. We finally saw the debut of Julia showing up to challenge Roxanne after Roxanne won her match. Julia looks fantastic. She is probably going to be a huge player, if not the new face of NXT, and take the title off of Roxanne. We're still waiting on Stephanie Vaquer to show up, and we're still waiting on rumored Delta from Australia to also show up. So the NXT Women's Division is going to get a massive boost within the next calendar year or so. And of course, Ethan Page snuck one out. Overall, really good event. Not my favorite one. I think Heatwave was 10 times better. Oh yeah, Kalani Jordan had a match that we weren't able to talk about because it wasn't official until the last second. But Kalani Jordan also had a match in the NXT Women's North American Championship. She ended up winning, beating Wendy Chu. But overall, it was a solid match. I'd also give this probably a 7. Okay, what are your thoughts?
I have a question.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it a 7. Okay, so I vaguely remember Wendy Chu.
Yes.
And was she always goth and pajamas? Because I
No.
sworn she was pajamas but not goth.
She was pajamas when recently turned goth, and then her bestie Rosemary showed up on NXT last week.
I
I
forgot
see.
there was a wrestler who wrestled in PJs. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, they had
I
like a
was-
street fight like a year or so ago, and instead of bringing out Jax, she brought out Legos.
Oh.
Yes, that's the always. Yeah, WWE always uses Legos instead of the tags.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was trying. Liv was asking me if I know who people on the card were, and we got to the Wendy Chu match, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Wendy Chu is the chick that wears pajamas,
Yes.
and then with no other context, and then I'm like, JK, Wendy Chu is goth with pajamas.
Yeah, that's a new occurrence, and then the actual
Okay.
the actual goth person, Tatum Paxley, showed up and choked out Wendy Chu, who Tatum Paxley is Victoria's daughter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so now that Victoria has a Legends contract, there should be some interesting interactions between her and her daughter on NXT.
Mhm.
Probably very, very soon. Very, very soon. So NXT No Mercy, check it out. Good card. I think the last PLE they have for them this year is going to be it's probably going to be Halloween Havoc, and then Deadline is going to occur for NXT. So 2 more big shows for NXT going into the end of this year. And speaking of the end of this year, the USA Network has finally said that they're going to have WWE Week, because starting next week, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown are all going to be on the USA Network because this Friday is the final SmackDown on Fox.
Thank God.
You know, this deal started in 2019 and it had a lot of potential, and then the world died.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, and then it kind of dwindled. It was struggling to find its footing. I think it found its footing, SmackDown in particular, with the Bloodline. Like, I think this era of SmackDown is going to be the Bloodline era because this is when Roman and the Bloodline were running roughshod on SmackDown. But it's now moving over to the USA Network for the foreseeable future with Michael Cole and Corey Graves doing SmackDown. And this week was the first week of the new Raw team, which is Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. I thought Joe Tessitore did a pretty good job. Maybe needs to be a little bit more enthusiastic, but I liked what he did so far. Did anybody watch Raw and listen to Joe Tessitore in his first show?
I did as well. Yeah, he did fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad. I agree with you. He had a little more pep in his step, but him and Wade went back and forth pretty good. He had a few good moments where it's like, he played into the actual carniness of wrestling. Like, you gotta support this, or how can you support that? He played up the good guys are good guys, bad guys are bad guys shtick.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a great voice.
His voice is fantastic.
His not punctuation, like how his pacing, how his diction. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, K. Murphy. Yeah, his diction was great. He'll be fine. He'll be totally fine.
Yeah, he's got a good. I like how he points out the obvious. Like when Drew attacked CM Punk, he goes, "It's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie." I was like, "Thank God."
Yes, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought that was so funny.
I almost cut the audio. He's like, "That's Drew McIntyre wearing a hoodie."
But Michael Cole would have been like, "Who the hell is that?"
What the hell is he doing here?
Yeah, he's like, "No, it's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. Let's cut to the chase. Who this is."
He
Not the Scottish psychopath in a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Oh God, that would have been a good one too.
Yeah, but no, he was good. He's only gonna get better. Wade did a good job carrying him when they were like down periods. So, but yeah, no, I'm very excited about Joe Tessitore. He did like the primetime show. He did the 3:30 slot on college football on Saturday, and it was in Florida. So he had to then fly from Florida to Denver to do Raw. So I think that's...
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to like the travel schedule. He's probably not going to like it very much.
Yeah, so I think he's going to do like college football Saturdays, Raw on Mondays.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad work week. It's not a bad work
Depends
week.
on where we are.
Saturday and Monday?
Well, like, for instance, he promised to do a college football game this Saturday, and then he's got to fly to Canada.
Yeah.
Is college football only on Saturdays?
Primarily, yes.
Yeah.
But there are some other like games that'll be on like a Friday night or a Thursday night, but usually Saturday. From noon to midnight, essentially, because you got to get the games on the West Coast.
Yeah, that sucks though. He's like, we're gonna throw you into WWE. By the way, it's a 3-hour show.
Well, yeah, but yeah, and Raw's gonna be quote unquote their season premiere next week. So,
sorry, Chris.
Premiere.
I'll never forget how fucking stupid that was. That's how they wrote off Chris Jericho from TV.
So yes, WWE Week is coming. The RIP to the Fox SmackDown era, and I will say this. Everything that happened with SmackDown was barely anything under Fox control. Like, Fox tried their damnedest with this.
They did.
Yeah. And they was just due to victim of circumstance and, random acts of God, as the term goes.
Yeah.
I mean, WWE made out with this deal like a fucking bandit.
Yeah, $1 billion over 5 years. Yeah.
Like, looking back, WWE really did Fox dirty. They gave them a really bad deal because Fox lost a lot of money on this deal.
Did they?
But WWE had some of the best programming in years. It really doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad AC/DC isn't the theme anymore. It was just a really bad theme. Are you ready?
For a good time.
Oh, thank. That's
Are you
right.
ready?
The music will change.
I am gonna mix the Fox bot.
I am gonna miss the Fox
too.
bot too. The Fox robot was pretty.
Do you remember when they had the draft on SmackDown and it
At
had the
the
Fox
beginning with
bot
the
in? The
office?
Fox bot was in the war room.
That shit was awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So obviously, being on Fox was a lot of pressure for WWE. Do you think we would have gotten the Bloodline and how good it was if it wasn't on Fox?
Yes.
I do.
I think WWE benefited for the fact that it was on network cable television when the Bloodline storyline happened, because that just exposed their best storyline in years to a wider audience.
And I think it was also a condition for Roman Reigns coming back. He's like, I'm turning heel.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So the fact that we had that story on network TV, primarily on network TV, I think WWE benefited the most out of it because it just reached a wider audience of people. Like Roman Reigns is almost at the point of like pop culture, like lexicon now.
Yeah, dude, he was in a David Spade movie. You can't get much higher than that.
Is David Spade really the bar we want to raise?
Yeah, I think we want to go
This
higher
isn't
than
Dickie
Spade.
Roberts.
Yeah, I think we want to go higher than David Spade. So, but yeah, RIP to the Fox era. We barely newbie. We started out with Kofi losing the title and Bailey cutting her hair. That was the first episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bailey killed the
That
Bailey
was.
buddies, and Kofi got Kofi's title.
Kofi got squashed.
Yeah, Kofi got
Yeah.
squashed. R.I.P. Well, we'll see what happens when they move over to USA. And now, folks, let's go to what I like to call the WrestleMania backlash to their WrestleMania.
Oof.
It is.
Oof.
It is.
Ouch.
You're not wrong.
That cuts deep. I don't even care for AEW, but that cuts deep.
But tell me if I'm wrong. Like, literally, we have.
You're not wrong at all.
This is 2 weeks after their biggest show of the year and probably one of their most enjoyable shows that I've ever watched, from top to bottom. It's 2 weeks after. It's on Saturday now. Saturday, not Sunday, and it's in, lo and behold, Chicago in their third tier arena. You know, this is
The Now Center.
the
or
Now,
whatever?
yeah, the Now Arena. It's not even at the Allstate Arena. It's not at United Center. It's at the Now Center.
And the Allstate Arena also isn't that big. Like, they could have sold it out.
The
probably.
Allstate Arena is so cramped.
It's very cramped.
It is cramped.
Oh.
But
it's not
the
like it's being
acoustics are amazing.
used.
Yeah.
Maybe it's being used. Allstate Arena. Let me Google it.
I don't think it is. I think they used the Now Arena before for All Out. But anywho,
Event calendar, Allstate Arena.
yeah, what do we got for the Allstate Arena? It's probably not anything important.
Friday, September 6th. Saturday, September 7th. That's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got Grupo Frontera. It's some Hispanic act.
Oh, my friend likes them.
Yeah.
So maybe they were booked.
So yeah, they were booked.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So it happens. But yes, AEW All Out is pretty much what I've seen from the card and what I've watched on Dynamite is they are pretty much tying up some loose ends of things that kind of need to be wrapped up before theoretically they move on to a different chapter of essentially their new year in wrestling. So we're going to start off here with the AEW World Championship. Bryan Danielson showed up on AEW TV on Dynamite and pretty much said, hey, I had a great moment at All In. I won in front of my children. My family was there. My family was there, and you know, it was one of the best moments of my career. I won the world title. That means something to me. He goes, I know I said if I didn't win, you know, I was going to retire, but obviously I'm not going to retire now or anytime soon. However, when I do lose, I will then officially retire. He also said that it's...
Oh, so he's doing... Yeah, that's exactly what I said he would do.
Yeah, he also said that he needs neck surgery soon. Yeah. He needs neck surgery soon, and technically his contract with AEW was finished on August 1st. So we are essentially on Daniel Bryan borrowed time. He's like, I'll face anybody, first come, first serve. And obviously, the GOAT man, Jack Perry, showed up with his TNT Championship, challenging Bryan Danielson to the AEW World Championship. And I'm pretty sold on the fact that Bryan Danielson's going to win this. My bigger concern with this is how much longer is Bryan Danielson going to test fates before it comes to bite him in the ass?
He's going to die in the ring. That's what he wants. He's going to die on pay-per-view.
I can easily see that happening.
I genuinely do not hope that happens.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
that
going to
is
happen.
what he wants. He is going to test the limits.
Yeah.
Until he gets paralyzed or severely, really injured.
Yeah.
You know, he's a warrior. He's going to go out on a sword. Part of me respects the fuck out of it, but man's got kids too.
Got two.
Which is Which is why I think he might not go out as crazy as he probably would like to go out because he has 2 kids. I think he's gonna go until the end of the year. Like the year's almost over. He's not gonna drop to Jack Perry.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, this is not a pay-per-view match. Like I don't know why.
yeah, this is like a dynamite match for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it is totally.
Yeah, and
Like Tony Khan, you have all this money. Book something more interesting.
listen, he only as of right now there are only 6 matches on this card, which is like nothing for AEW, and thank fucking God. It's not that long of a show, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson here. The bigger question is,
Yeah,
who
for
does
sure.
he
Mhm.
lose to? Who gets the Bryan Danielson rub by retiring Bryan Danielson?
Kenny or Okada.
Watch the fucking beat MJF.
That would be good too.
I could see it actually.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's a lot of people who would very much benefit in that company. I could see Hangman doing it.
Anybody else?
I could see Swerve doing it. Again, kind of Swerve getting his title back. I could see Will Ospreay doing it.
Double champ, the 2 biggest titles in AEW.
Mhm.
I mean, he just drop the other one. He has too many belts as it is.
Yeah.
I almost said Will Hobbs.
He hasn't been seen on TV in a minute, I don't think.
I mean,
is he still with AEW?
I guess, theoretically.
if Ricky Starks didn't have a foot out the door, I would say Ricky Starks could do it.
Mhm.
But he's too friends with Cody, so
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, we're gonna go Bryan Danielson here. Emo Jack Perry with his Emo TNT Championship belt are gonna lose in what will probably be a very interesting match.
I think in another world, Jack Perry could do it. I also think in another world, Sammy Guevara could do it.
Yeah,
But-
neither of those are happening in this world.
No.
No, not any time. Wow, that's a good one, Taekwon. It is Raven Jack Perry. He's very Raven now. Like very, very ECW Raven. Quote the Raven nevermore.
Feel my pain. Yeah, but have you ever watched a Raven promo from ECW '97?
Not recently.
Not in a
It's-
long time.
It's incredible.
He was
Really?
good at that. He was great at that character.
Yeah, like I know like ECW is literally just a glorified clip show and it's a bunch of nonsense. But at the ends, when they do all the backstage promos,
Mhm.
most of them are really, really, really good. Especially Raven, Tommy Dreamer, or even a Stevie Richards. When Stevie Richards is after the BWO, and he kind of goes on his own before he goes to WCW.
Yeah.
Like he has this one last push for a title shot, and he cuts some really, really good promos, and the crowd's really behind him as Big Stevie Cool, nonetheless. and then he follows Raven over to WCW in summer of '97 and does fucking nothing.
Wasn't Raven like pictured as like the rich kid who just had problems that he just designed his own?
Yeah, he was the rich kid who didn't want money, and he was neglected by his parents. Then he took it out on Tommy Dreamer because Tommy Dreamer was like the football jock who got all the girls,
Which not Tommy Dreamer.
which is not believable at all.
Not at all
But
whatsoever.
that's like the echelon of their feud. Raven's just mad. Dreamer got pussy.
It happens. It happens. I wonder who.
I mean, I get it,
Yeah,
right? I
right,
mean,
yeah.
who hasn't been jealous of the guy who slangs all the poon in high school?
Yeah, WCW. That's all you got to say. WCW. Moving on to the AEW International Championship. Yes, because it's not the American Championship anymore. Sorry, Will. It is back to the International Championship.
Dude, I swear to God, when I saw he won it, I read it as the Intercontinental title. That's how I read it, even though it wasn't on there. But I was like, oh, he won the Intercontinental title. Why does Pac? Oh, the trios title.
He won the trios title at All In.
Great. Isn't it great we have a trios wrestler in a singles match for another title?
Yeah, listen.
Wrestling.
Exactly. I don't make the rules. How this match ended up to be was
Neither does Tony.
Discord that I found on Twitter today about Tony booking a match.
Was
It's
this-
a
oh,
tip
yeah,
of the
is this
crowd.
Tip of the crown?
crane.
Yeah, it's a tip of the crowd. Anyway, how this match came to be.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah, this we're going to hate through Dynamite. That's good.
Yeah. So Ricochet debuted. He had his first match against Kyle Fletcher. He won his match, obviously, because that's what you do. And at the end of the match, Ospreay came out because Ospreay and Ricochet, duh. Ospreay came out. He was about to say something at the top of the ramp, and Pac came from behind and gave him a reverse Hurricane Rana on the stage.
I love how Ricochet's being booked already. So much better than Triple H.
So Pac is like, winning the trios title wasn't my moment at All In. I deserved more, blah, blah. He's still mean and broody and a bastard. And so,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's how he attacked Will Ospreay. And so now we're feuding for the International Championship at All Out. And again, thanks for coming, Pac, but we're keeping this on Will Ospreay because there's no way you don't get Will Ospreay versus Ricochet for that International Championship down the road.
you mean the guy who just won the belt 2 weeks ago isn't going to drop it a week later?
You'd be surprised. I mean, they both won
I
the belt
guess.
2 weeks ago.
True.
So, but yeah, I got to go to Will Ospreay here. Kayfabe.
Yeah, duh.
Will Ospreay.
I mean, we're getting Will Ospreay versus Ricochet because obviously Tony's going to play the hits here.
Yeah, it's a great match, of course. Everyone wants to see it. We've all seen that clip of them in Japan where like they don't touch each other.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
flippy shit.
For 53 seconds.
Yeah,
It's cool.
That clip is like the definition of all the flippy shit.
yeah.
I can't tell you how many of my non-wrestling friends have sent me that clip and go, "Have you seen this?" I go,
Me
"Yeah."
too.
I'm like, it's cool. I guess.
Thousands and thousands of times, guys. I mean, listen, you're gonna get us as mad as Vader was when that clip came out.
No kidding.
Yeah, brought Vader out of retirement to face Ospreay for like a match.
And it's like, guys, you're showing me wrestling where they actually don't hit each other. Like you're supposed to be impressed when it looks like they hit each other.
Oh man, but yeah, Will Ospreay and Pac. Well, I think will be a fun match because Pac's gonna play his role really, really well. What is probably going to, well, not this match. But speaking of matches, Mercedes Moné putting the TBS Championship on the line against Hikaru Shida, who won a fatal 4-way on AEW Collision, which is kind of just a weird show to get through. To be honest with you, I watched it the other day. There's a lot of 6-man tag matches. Lot of 6-man tag matches. But this is just something that they're putting together. Hikaru Shida wants a title again, and she's going up against Mercedes Moné, and you're paying Mercedes Moné how much money? She's winning this match.
Yeah. I mean, she books her own matches, so.
She does?
Does she have creative control?
I don't know.
I thought she did.
I know she's like the highest paid female in wrestling, and Swerve got a good pay bump too.
I mean, as she
Swerve's-
should be.
Yo, Swerve signed anything till like 2029.
Yeah, Swerve restructured his deal.
Yeah.
He got an extension, which, hey, man, good for him.
Listen,
I would
he had
too.
a fantastic year. He arguably had the feud of the year in AEW with him and Hangman Page.
Yeah. If I was Swerve, I'd go TK, I'll drop the belt, but I want more money like now.
Yeah, and
TK's like, okay.
whatever you want, buddy. Listen, he made history. He's the first ever African American AEW World Champion, something that WWE took over 50 years to do with Kofi Kingston.
Hey, The Rock.
AEW did in 5. Rock's Canadian.
I know. No, The Rock. Dwayne, I mean.
Dwayne is Canadian, but yeah.
Rock isn't Canadian.
Yes, he is.
Who's not born
Wait,
in
what?
Canada?
Yeah, The Rock's father's Canadian.
Oh, his dad's Canadian.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, The Rock is Canadian.
I didn't watch Young Rock.
No, it's not part of Young Rock. That's just part of, he's said that before.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder what percentage Canadian he is, because
Half.
like obviously the Rock's dad is also Samoan.
No, his mom is.
His mom is.
Yeah. Rocket Johnson's from
Samoan,
Nova Scotia. He's half Canadian, half Samoan.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought his dad was the Samoans. I thought they're both Samoan.
Nah,
honestly.
the mom. We watched Young Rock. There's a whole story about it, but yeah, it's the mom read Rocky Johnson because Rocky Johnson was wrestling for Rock's grandmother's promotion in Hawaii.
Dude, there are too many people who are like silently Canadian,
yeah. Have you seen the actors lately?
especially in wrestling.
It's probably going to be the name of the show, Silently Canadian. Shh, don't tell anybody. What's up, Ryan Reynolds? But yeah, Mercedes Moné.
No, he is very proudly Canadian.
Yeah. Wait till you watch.
He lets everyone.
Wait
know
till
he's
you watch
Canadian.
Deadpool 3. So
I know. I still have to watch. I'll wait for it to come on streaming. It'll be on Disney pretty soon, I bet.
probably like next month, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mercedes Moné is winning this probably in not a very easy fashion, I would say. But what is probably going to be the match of the night, because lo and behold, we have Hangman Page looking so much like a racist with that
Oh my
stash.
God.
Yeah.
He looks like a young Zeb Coulter.
versus Swerve Strickland,
Oh, I don't like
who's doing his
that.
best Marvel villain impression. So this obviously is the feud again that will never. This is like their CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Obviously, Swerve did a home invasion a while ago on Hangman Page.
Why does Hangman Adam Page looks like he's posing for a Civil War trading card?
He looks like he's doing those photos.
Like the Civil War reenactment
You
photos.
dress,
Yeah.
Yes, like you dress up and you go in the booth and they take the black and white pictures of you.
Like he's from Biloxi,
Biloxi,
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
He looks like
go
he's-
to North and kill
He
them
makes
Yanks.
moonshine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at him.
Yeah.
Like on the back has his race stats.
Yeah. So this match came to be obviously Hangman Page tried to interfere in Swerve Strickland's main event match with Daniel Bryan, which I said before probably wasn't needed in that very, very good match. But Hangman Page won a match. Swerve Strickland came out on Dynamite. They had a back and forth. Hangman Page was like, every time you beat me, you've always needed help. You can never beat me by yourself. So,
Yeah.
and Swerve was like, well, you screwed me over from getting the world title. You tapped out to Samoa Joe, not because you needed to tap out, because you hated me so much. You didn't want me to win the title, so you tapped out. He went on to say that he stalked Hangman Page. He's parked outside of his house, and he watched Hangman Page take his pregnant wife to the hospital the day that they were going to have their second child, which is all types of scary.
Yeah, that's a bit stalkerish.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. And he talked about like maybe it's time for you to be like the person that you should be, and like essentially be at home and be a stay-at-home dad like you really want to be. You're not really built for a wrestler. And so I was like, you know what? Since you accuse me of always having to need help, we're gonna fight in the steel cage. So it's just us locked in the steel cage and nobody else. And I'll prove to you that I'm worth
Yeah.
it. Which is literally great build. Perfect. Works. Makes all the sense in the world. I actually don't know how this is going to go because Swerve does have the advantage on Hangman Page. So the question is, do you want to make Hangman Page dive deeper and deeper into visually hating black people, or do you give him a win for the sake of giving him a win?
I think you give it to Hangman because you got to build credible heels for Daniel Bryan to conquer, and Swerve just lost, so he's already on a downward trajectory. If you're going down, you might as well keep going. Nothing is better than a babyface on the chase. You gotta give some people reason to care. You gotta beat them down before you build them back up. So,
Go ahead.
I think this storytelling and trajectory of wrestling momentum. Hangman's on the way up, Swerve's on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What do you got, Kay?
I would agree with that. I think Adam Page will win. I really think I should watch AEW so I can have a better opinion. But
That's why I watched for you
Yeah.
to give you a synopsis of everything that occurred.
I meant to watch it today too at work, which is just so funny, and then I just
Just didn't get around to doing it.
Work got crazy busy, and I just did not have the time for AEW.
Yeah.
what if Hangman hung Swerve from the cage? Jesus, Taquan.
I'm-
It's not the big boss
I
man.
was saying WWE did it. WWE did that at WrestleMania. Okay, so it's not anything out of the realm of possibility. There is an issue with that suggestion. You're hanging somebody from a cage.
Yo, quick sideberg to back to Bash in Berlin. You know, like in between matches, they have like those social media things. It's like
Yeah.
pop quiz time. They asked someone what was the most devious moment in like wrestling history, and Damian Priest says when Undertaker hung Big Boss Man. And if you notice when you watch that segment, they do cutaways for every single thing that the superstars mention, except for that one. They don't show the footage. And then he's like, though Boss Man did drag Big Show's dad's casket in the grave. They showed that one instead.
Which ironically, according to the Big Show, was like the most therapeutic thing he needed for when like his father died.
Yeah.
Oh, there was Boss Man killing Pepper.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah,
and he fed it to him.
He fed.
Yeah, Boss Man had a wild run that year.
He did.
Although I think Big Show's dad was still alive when that was filmed.
No, he was dead.
Was he dead?
He had already passed. He had like recently passed, and then they did that segment. So,
Mm.
so he did like his little eulogy in character, but it was like him talking to his dad.
That's funny. And then Boss Man comes and just drags him away.
Yeah. It's a wild scene. So yeah, I can see Hangman. It makes sense for Hangman. Like Swerve's already restructured. He's kind of still has that I was the former champion glow. Like he main events it all in. You know, like it's like his stock is still going to be extremely high. Like he's essentially a made man in the company.
Yeah, which is exactly why he can take a loss. Like the crowd isn't gonna stop being behind him because he loses. If anything,
They'll root for him more.
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, but Hangman taking a loss, it could be like, okay, well, you're the guy who loses.
Yeah.
Like remember when Shinsuke had his anime heel character?
Oh, so good.
And people loved it, and we wanted more of it, but he kept losing.
Yeah.
And then losing. Eventually, it's just like, we
Yeah.
haven't seen him since.
Hangman needs.
But it was a great gimmick.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal gimmick.
Hangman needs a win because every time Logan Paul does a buckshot lariat, like Hangman Page loses status in AEW.
Hangman Page becomes that much more racist.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm definitely gonna go with Hangman. Are you also going with Hangman, kayfabe?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Hangman it is. Moving on to the lower part of this card. This is going to be over really soon. I'm telling you guys right now. MJF going up against Daniel Garcia. MJF came out on Dynamite.
What a Dynamite match.
Well, no, there's reason behind this. MJF came out on Dynamite and said he was like, I lost my title since Will Ospreay hit the Tiger Driver 91 and he supposedly landed on his neck. He's like, I have a herniated disc in my spinal column, you know, and when I was out here representing my country, all of you booed me. Like he did great work. He goes, I don't care about America anymore. The only thing I care about is the most magical place on earth, Plainview, Long Island, New York.
Plainview, Long Island, baby.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I hate you, MJF. So when MJF was ascending to the American champion of AEW, along his way to his ascension, he pretty much gave a pile driver to Daniel Garcia, and in kayfabe, essentially almost ended Daniel Garcia's career. And I think it was like a second rope pile driver too. Like it was pretty vicious.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Daniel Garcia was reasonably off TV for a considerable amount of time. So Daniel Garcia is coming back, trying to avenge what MJF did to him by trying to essentially end his career with the same sort of move. So this is very much a blood feud in and of itself. And again, I'm kind of on a toss-up here, so I'm going to give it to you, Cape. I know you're going to pick MJF because of Long Island, but would you consider Daniel Garcia?
Daniel Garcia's fine, but it's MJF.
Gotta love that Long Island pride, baby. Will Tarashuk.
I'm so biased towards MJF for everything.
Yeah, it's MJF. You know why? Because I forgot Daniel Garcia was even a person, let alone on the roster.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Daniel Garcia because I just want to see MJF just spiral downhill. Now that he lost America, and he just loses a match now.
And his ring.
And yeah, his ring. So according to Daniel Garcia, he stole the ring and pawned it off to somebody in Florida.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So he stole the Dynamite Diamond ring. So MJF no longer has a Dynamite Diamond ring, which was only used once in AEW lore, anyways.
I'm not gonna lie, that ring probably doesn't work that much.
He wore it a bunch.
He wore it, but it wasn't. It wasn't like
he was
used for anything else.
Diamond. Didn't he use the ring several times to like?
Yeah, he
cheat?
used it. He used like brass knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like used in the match. It's like when Dynamite Diamond ring was first presented, I was like, looked like it was going to be like a running trope.
Yeah.
I thought he used it in matches as like a brass knuckles.
The first year he did.
Yeah. But it just became.
And he won it again.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of just forgot about it.
He won it 3 times. That's all I remember.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, MJF has no jewelry, no gold, and I just want to see him, just go into madness because I like an angry MJF. So that's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Daniel Garcia because again, MJF's stock is the highest it can be. He can do no wrong right now, and at some point he'll find his way back into some sort of championship scene. But he can do these side quests right now and lose them.
Oh, he can definitely do wrong. He can sign another extension.
Didn't he like tattoo AEW on like his foot or something like that?
Yeah, it's on his leg. It's like he got the poker chip with the AEW logo.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it was like
that's actually pretty good. That's
because it was like bet on yourself.
It's a nice tattoo.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He was like, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm like, okay, you got it. You made your point. You should probably get out of here. But be it as it may, the final match on the card. I'm surprised I'm saying the final match on the AEW All Out card because this is what we have so far. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander.
Ooh.
Yes, the Battle of Long Island, actually.
I'm like, I'm very invested.
Yes. How this match came to be is there was a mixed tag match at 0 Hour for All In. Willow Nightingale's team won, so she got to pick the stipulation for Chris Statlander and her match, and it's going to be a Chicago street fight. Because yes, every city needs a gimmick match for AEW. London had the London ladder match, and All Out has the Chicago street fight in Chicago. Chris Statlander has Stokely Hathaway in her corner, formerly known as Malcolm Bivens from NXT, which is a very interesting pairing, to be completely honest. Malcolm Bivens is just absolutely hysterical. And Willow Nightingale is currently the CMLL Women's Champion, I believe. So that plays no factor in this, but this is going to be a street fight. This is going to be vicious. It's going to be very Long Island, probably. And I don't know who wins this. I myself, although I do love Statlander, and I've seen her in person in the indies when she was an alien. Remember that well? She was like the weird alien that did the ET phone home.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Willow here. Okay.
I'm also gonna go with Willow.
Any reason whatsoever?
Just gut feeling.
That's Stokely Hathaway with her?
Yeah, that's Stoke.
Yes. He's winning, obviously.
What you say? You said Statlander?
Yeah, Statlander, of course. I gotta go with my fellow booper, of course.
she was a really interesting booper back in the day.
Boop.
Mm-hmm.
I love booping people. It's one of my favorite things to do. This is on the subway. You go, hi, ma'am. Boop.
I'm sure that goes over
I
well.
was just saying, like, that's not subway behavior.
I have never have. Nor would I ever. I'd be really weird. I'd be very angry if a strange came just booping me on the subway. Like, I don't take the subway. I take the bus.
Yeah.
I'm higher class.
Yes, I'm sure. I
pay $4 for my bus ticket.
That's crazy.
Oh man, so surprise, that is the entire AEW All Out card. It is literally 1, 2, 3, it's 6 matches.
Oh, speaking of Archer, Mr. Fritz, what happened to Lance Archer?
That's true. What did happen to Lance
yeah.
Archer?
Dude, he was so good when AEW first debuted.
Yeah.
And then, you remember he was with Jake the Snake?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah.
Then I think he got hurt, and then we just never heard from him again.
Yeah, that sounds like an AEW thing too. Like, remember when Keith Lee was on AEW? Has anybody seen him since? Exactly.
Last we saw him was at the Hall of Fame. He was in
Yeah.
Last time we saw him
TikTok.
was in WWE.
You said the last time you saw Keith Lee was on TikTok?
Yes.
When he does the
Like-
voiceover for Mia Yim's TikToks?
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
Mia
funny.
Yim will be doing like a makeup tutorial on her TikTok, and she'll let Keith Lee narrate it. And Keith Lee has no idea what makeup is about, so he's like, "Okay," and she's putting on something to cover up her face, and
She's putting some shit on her nose.
yeah, he's like, I don't know what's going on.
I told her she looks great without it, but she tells me to fuck up.
But yeah, that's the entire AEW All Out card. Another big thing to notice to be aware with AEW is that out of the blue, walking through the crowd, not to Wild Thing, to a completely different, not already made song, a custom song for himself, Jon Moxley came back. Jon Moxley came back,
Oh.
looks like a taller, paler Sam Roberts, essentially. Completely bald. Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Completely bald. Speaking in Jake the Snake like riddles, saying this isn't his company anymore. He gets to talk to somebody. Essentially, he's going after Darby Allin. Why? Why the fuck not?
Oh, Mox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mox is going after Darby Allin, and he has.
I'm gonna bleed first. No, I'm gonna bleed
He
first.
now also has a heater in Marina Shafir, who looks like
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're an interesting duo. It just happened, so I don't know what Moxley has in mind for his character. I'm intrigued by it though. It's the most intrigued I've ever been of Jon Moxley ever. You know, I think he's going away from the whole broke man Stone Cold Steve Austin gimmick. But that is yet to be seen. That is yet to be seen. But
Fred has a good point. Shane's going to be with him. Has Shane done anything in AEW yet?
Shane
I know
hasn't
him and
even-
Tony at that meeting.
yeah, but doesn't mean he's officially signed. It probably just means they talked.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be really cool if Shane showed up in AEW.
That'd be wild.
I think that would be very, very big for AEW if they got Shane on board.
Yeah, I want Shane McMahon to come out and be like, I own WCW. I mean, I own AEW.
The only thing Tony Khan fears is someone else's money.
I would be down for a McMahon trying to steal AEW storyline from Tony Khan.
Yeah, like you have
I
their
love
blood
that,
and
actually.
guts Team McMahon versus Team Khan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd buy that pay per view.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. I mean, I'm serious. I do think. I mean, AEW.
What if?
My friend and I were talking about this at work today because she and her fiance were at All Out in London.
Mhm.
They did 16 days across Europe around this wrestling trip, which
Yeah.
God
Oh,
bless
wow.
them.
Dope.
So yeah, and they had a great time. And then they showed me their seats. They had really good, like they had floor seats, really really good seats.
Nice.
So they were saying the atmosphere was great, and we were just talking about like how AEW, because they don't watch WWE anymore, they just watch AEW.
Okay.
And because she's like, there's only so much time you got to pick one, and I picked this one. I'm like, that's fair. But AEW is just the product, the presentation, and this like the vibe of the fan is a lot better around AEW. There's a lot more confidence in AEW,
Mhm.
and I think the Shane that I mean we mentioned the last week with the 4 international shows. We don't hear so much talk about how there's no one in the arena or ratings anymore. And now with the mergers of possible Shane McMahon, AEW has had a lot of good press lately and a lot of good reaction from fans. So I really do think Shane McMahon would be a big boost to this company and a kick in the ass it definitely needs, because it has been going in the right direction most of this year.
Most of it,
definitely.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
All Out was a great show. All Out was a really, really good show. I mean, they had some things to clean up. We talked about it last week,
Yeah.
presentation wise and like aesthetically, but like in ring and stuff, it was good. The matches that were supposed to hit. And I think Shane McMahon would only boost it. It'd be interesting to see what he does with it. Like, I want Shane McMahon to try to take over AEW, and I also want Shane McMahon to bring Raw Underground to AEW, like revamp like AEW.
AEW Underground.
Revamp like AEW Rampage and call it like
Yo.
AEW Underground. Like no ring. I want the dancing women. I want all that ridiculousness back again. I want Omos as the giant ass doorman. Like
R.I.P. the Raw Underground girls.
It's called AEW Shuffle. It's a Shane McMahon doing a Shane Shuffle for a half hour.
until he blows out his quads again.
Yeah. Dude, that was so sad. I felt so bad for him. And The Miz.
Listen, Snoop and the Miz made it work.
They made it work.
Snoop and bring back AEW Dark as Underground. No. AEW Dark needs to stay in the dark forever. Forever. They have enough programming on a weekly basis. You can replace that with something. Or like
Well, Dark Elevation.
yeah.
Is that what it was called?
No, it was Dark
Second
and Dark
one?
Elevation.
Who's dark?
Yeah, Dark and Dark Elevation.
Yeah. Or what if they do an angle where Shane like buys ROH from Tony?
Oh,
Yeah.
I would be interested in that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a story for it. Like you bought ROH, you did nothing with it.
And then he sells it back to Triple H,
Yeah, right. Like
where it belongs.
Shane McMahon's just an agent for WWE.
It's like what everyone thought Vince Russo was in the 90s at WCW.
Shane McMahon actually becomes.
Shane's actually doing it for Triple H. They're like, Shane, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm just scouting for Paul.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. That'd be great. But let's revert it back to All Out. The name on the contract
Nick
is
Khan.
Khan. Nick Khan.
Amen,
That
Fred.
was
Tip of the
good.
crown to you, my
That
friend.
was
That was
good.
good.
Blood and Guts could be Team Con versus Team Con.
Honestly, if it was Team Khan versus Team Khan, I think Nick Khan would be the crap out of Tony Khan.
Yeah. Anyone could beat the crap out of Tony Khan.
I don't know, man. Remember the first time you saw Vince take off his shirt and like, wow,
Yeah, but-
did not see that coming. You know what I mean? Like, did you see that coming in Rumble 99 when Vince, no, it was 98
No.
when him and Austin.
Yeah, he had the
Yeah,
training
like-
montage.
Yeah.
He had to chase the
I
chicken.
hate Austin.
I hate him.
No, it was
hate him.
before that. It was before that. It was like a random Raw in '98. Vince comes down in his black tank like I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Except he was just completely
Rocked to
yoked,
the
and you're just
gills.
like, I did not see that coming.
I hate
I forgot that
Austin.
Tony Khan is just more ripped.
No, he's not. I can tell. I hate Austin. I hate Austin. There was a segment where Johnny and Candace went to WWE headquarters for like the first time. It's like the old headquarters, and like Vince's training montage when he's doing I Hate Austin is in that gym in the headquarters because Vince had a
Yeah.
full gym, and
Yeah.
so Johnny and Candace decide to do a workout just because there's a gym there. And so, like, Johnny brings out Johnny's a Shawn Michaels. He brings out like his Shawn Michaels shorts and everything, and he's doing like rows. He's like, "I hate Austin. I hate Austin.
I hate Austin."
And Candace is like, "What are you talking about?" Fucking hate him. Oh man, it was a lead up to
Apparently they do tours of WWE headquarters.
the new one.
Do
Yeah.
they really?
No, and the old one, because Jazz and I have a friend who lives in Stanford or grew up in Stanford, and she's like, "Yeah, you can just go in and like they give you a tour, and it's really wild. It's like they have rings, all the statues, the different offices.
Yeah, I'd be
It's
down.
like, yeah, they
Go
have
on a field
they
trip?
they have a bunch of free Prime everywhere. It's like,
Yo,
Of course, it's free Prime everywhere.
find out how
Field
much
trip?
it is, and we'll take a road trip. I'm down.
I'm just surprised if it's free, honestly.
I mean, if it is, road trip.
Road trip?
Yeah.
WWE headquarter tour.
Listen, I can pick both of you guys up. You're literally both on the way to Connecticut, so it works out.
Yay, road trip.
Road trip to headquarters just for shits and giggles. I wonder if there's a merch store. There's got to be a merch store in there.
What if we put the GoPro in the car and we live streamed our Tuesday episode from the car to the headquarters? Right, we could do a ride along.
We did do that once. I don't think I have a GoPro anymore. We could figure something out.
Oh.
We'll do it. Anyway, back to All Out. Again, this show, is going to be short, quick, to the point. CM Punk being locked in is still hilarious. That's very true. But back to All Out. How good do we think this show will be? Like I said, the only match I'm really looking forward to be honest with you, is Hangman and Swerve, because I think that match is going to be absolutely batshit insane.
Yeah, it's the only one with intrigue.
Yeah. Other than that, a lot of this is kind of predictable for the most part. So I don't expect to be as good as All In, because it shouldn't be as good as All In, because then you'd have a problem. I'm gonna go with a 7 here. Kayfabe.
7.
Yes. Will Tarashuk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it, but if I was, I'd say 6.5.
Fair. Fair enough. Very, very much. Very, very fair.
Much.
Yeah. You haven't figured it out on Discord yet, have you?
Nope.
Yeah, you will. It's
To be fair, I haven't really looked though.
touche. Many folks.
Yeah, it's just too many fucking chats to go through.
Okay. That's why it's categorized by organization.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't help because I don't know where it would be.
Just highlight the ones you haven't read yet. It's probably in
No,
the.
I see. I clicked through all of them. So they're all red.
Well, you're shit out of luck then. Fred, you're saying 4? You're gonna give it a. Oh, that's Charles. Charles is giving it a 4.
No, Charles said 4, and then Fred said, I think we're getting like 4 more matches booked tomorrow.
Okay. Charles also might be giving AEW All Out a 4 because it's totally within his range. Fred's is saying 6. Now we're just putting out numbers. I don't know. Anywho, folks, that's pretty much the end of our show. Does anybody have any final thoughts on wrestling this week, Will or Kay?
I don't.
You know, it's really funny. We were supposed to have Slack on this show, but then I forgot.
Just forgot.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. It's either we're all on the show and we forget to have Slack on the show, or one of us is missing
Oh my
the show when
god,
Slack is on.
Kay's image watching NXT making chicken cutlets.
So
It's incredible. Kay, I love your living room setup. It
Thank
looks
you.
so comfortable.
It is very comfy.
Because it views into the
Yeah.
living room. It's really cool.
Yeah, it looks fucking
Thank
dope.
you. I
Yeah.
love our apartment.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's get the fuck out of here. Will Tasha?
Okay, it's probably a tip of the crown thing.
We'll talk about a tip of the crown, but it's not a tip of the crown thing. I don't think it's a tip of the crown thing. No, it's definitely not. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to King's Rings Podcast, episode number 388. Podcast, yeah, right. Episode number 388, potentially called Slightly Canadian. I'll probably think of something else by the time it actually debuts. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. Find Kings of the Rings Podcast at KOTR_podcast. Like, share, subscribe. The links to all of that stuff is in the description below. If you're listening to us, making sure you are listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle Addict Radio, all one word everywhere else. The links to that, again, are in the description below. And feel free to buy some of our fantastic merch, which is on sale pretty much all the time. We have good country-specific stuff, and we're going to have a lot more stuff for the fall, potentially bomber jackets, anybody, and some of your hoodies, K, that you like as well. So I'll be working on that sometime in the near future. Will Tarashok.
Ladies and gentlemen, apparently I'm Butch, not a Butch, not the Butch, just straight up Butch. Not even Butcher and the Blade, all right?
You don't want to be Butcher and the Blade.
I'm just Butch, but I call myself Will Tarashuk, T. and Thomas, ARASHUK. Yeah, I don't have anything else witty to find to say. So, K. Murphy, you're going to explain to me what Butch is in the post show.
Nice rhyme there.
I'm actually bailing right after this because, once again, I have a puppy that requires my attention. But
that's fair.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at KAE_FABE. And that's it. I have nothing.
Listen, that's what happens when we talk about AEW. Sometimes you just have nothing. But when we come back next week, we're going to have the fallout from All Out. We're going to have the season premiere of WWE all on the USA Network. And maybe one day we will go back to believing in Joe Hendry. So until then, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you soon. And sorry, not sorry, Slack. Fuck you, Slack. We'll see you next week.
It's the fallout from the All Out back to me.
That was not my intent at all whatsoever. Okay, so you want to know what the Butch thing comes from, Will?
Dude, Fallout from the All Out is just a title waiting to be happened.
Probably. So you want to know where the Butch thing comes from?
Yeah, sure.
So if you go into our NXT chat, I dropped the thing about Trick Williams making a diss track video on Pete Dunne.
Uh-huh. Trick Williams diss track is something I didn't even think I needed. Yeah, the realist.
Yeah, it's an actual video featuring a lot of NXT talent. And
So I've had to watch this to understand what Butch is?
Yes.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I tweeted that like AJ Francis did, like Top Dollar did this years ago, and no one gave him credit.
No, seriously.
Are you listening to it now too?
Yeah.
Kay, you listened to it, right?
I listened to it. Yeah, I listened to it earlier.
The video's hysterical with all the NXT talent in it.
I didn't watch the video. I just listened to it. I was working.
You get the gist of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna run.
Yeah. I'll be here for Will's reaction.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.
Love y'all.
And no, AJ Francis is not ass. AJ Francis is a great guy. We had a great conversation with him. Do you get it now, Will?
Kind of. I'm at minute in.
God, Hard Knocks with the Bears? Jesus.
That tricky cook. You a Butch. That's a hook.
Wait, Taquan, Top Dollar blocks you on X? What did you say to him?
I can only imagine.
That's true. That's true.
What channel did he post this on?
His own YouTube channel.
That's his own YouTube. He only has 2,000 subscribers.
He probably doesn't post a lot.
I bet. Whoop that trick. You a Butch. A big-headed Butch. A little foot Butch. Oh, it's saying bitch. He's saying Butch.
Yes. Do you understand it now?
Oh, I saw my girl Nikita Lyons in there, though. Butch is back.
It was really funny. Pete Dunne posted on Twitter, so I'm going after everybody, every NXT talent that was in that video.
Okay, yeah, his last video was from a year ago. So yeah, this is his first video in over a year.
Yo, you want to hear this craziness? Apparently, the 76ers are seriously considering
Oh, I did see this.
moving
Yeah,
the jersey after release finishes with the Wells Fargo Center.
Well, I think they would still be in Pennsylvania. It's just
Well, no, they
Well,
said
up-
Jersey.
is it Jersey?
They said
That'd be so
considering
funny.
moving to Jersey.
The 76ers, which was made up of 1970, I almost said 1976, 1776 because of Philadelphia, was moving to Jersey. I forget why though. Something with was it traffic or something?
What?
Like why do you consider moving to Jersey?
But where would
They are seriously considering it.
Yeah, but like, where in Jersey would they go?
They said it in the article. It's like a little further up. It's like one of those towns on the Delaware River in between Jersey and Pennsylvania. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So apparently, New Jersey state officials contacted 76ers leadership on Monday and offered team owners the opportunity to gain up to $800 million in tax credits.
Oh, that would do it. That's why.
While building a mixed-use development, including a new arena on state-owned land in Camden, New Jersey.
They want to do it. Okay, they want to do it in Camden.
What's up?
Well, Camden, over the past
It's gotten
almost
better, I've
decade or
heard.
so. No, they have turned it around. They completely redid their police. Like they pretty much fired their entire police force.
Oh yeah, we talked about
And it's-
this.
Yeah, and just redid it from scratch. And Camden, it's still Camden, but they really, really, really turned it around compared to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hell, man, good for them. Jersey needed that. Let's put it that way.
Oh, vicious! And the White Sox have lost now 108 games
Yeah, they got smoked by Baltimore
on a
again.
blooper.
the
Apparently,
Yankees are losing 1-0.
It's early.
The top 6. They only have one hit though. They have a lot of strikeouts.
Luckily, Garrett Cole's not severely injured.
They got 3 hits and 8 strikeouts.
It happens. Oh, so I did my fantasy football draft yesterday.
Yeah, what you got?
I'll show you. It didn't. It wasn't. Well, I'm in a 12-team league, so sometimes pickings are slim. But I'll tell you right now.
I'm in a 14-team league. Yeah, you've heard my team.
Yeah, I'll tell you my team. All right, so
Dirty pitch though.
at QB I have CJ Stroud.
Okay, good pick.
My other QB is Tua.
Very good pick. It's a good duo.
Yeah. I got a running back. I got Jonathan Taylor from Indianapolis, Alvin Kamara from New Orleans.
Kamara fucked me 2 years ago, but he also fucked me again last year, and he wasn't on my
He wasn't
team,
on
so it's a good pick.
Yeah. And then I got this new running back named Bucky Irving from Tampa Bay, but he's going to be like an emergency. I might switch him out for somebody else better. It's not like it was slim pickings. Wide receiver, I got Debo.
Okay.
Debo Samuel, Christian Watson, Gabe Davis, and Adonai Mitchell. Gabe Davis is on Jacksonville now. He was the number 2 receiver for the Bills last year.
Okay.
And Adonai Mitchell is wide receiver for the Colts. Tight ends. I got George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid.
Kittle's a good pick.
Kittle's always a good pick.
Kittle's a very good
Yeah.
pick.
I also have Cortland Sutton, the wide receiver for the Broncos, as a receiver.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, I know.
If he doesn't get, it's boom or bust. If he gets a touchdown, he has a great game. If he doesn't, he does jack shit.
Yeah, my kicker is Jake Elliott of the Eagles. And I also got another kicker, something Cardi for the Rams. Then my defenses are the Steelers and the Ravens.
Hmm.
I'm pretty happy
Okay.
with my pick. I think I'm going to do well.
We'll see how I do.
Yeah, a 14-team league is rough for a draft. Like, how do you didn't auto draft, right?
I did do auto draft.
Ooh, did you pick your auto draft strategy?
Nope. It's winning cold.
Oh God.
I mean, team's not bad. The thing is, a lot of rookies. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's going to be like you're going to have a great week and you're going to have a shit week.
Yeah, like Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Rookie. Yep. I think Rasheed Rice is on his sophomore year.
He's with the
Um,
Chiefs, right?
Yes.
But I feel like he was going to get dismissed, but he's not.
Else. Maybe I dropped. No, I didn't drop the other rookies. I forget who else they are. Jonathan Brooks.
What's his position?
He's a running back for the Panthers.
He's
injured. He's out until like week 4.
So yeah, he's going to share time with Chuba Hubbard probably.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard. Yep. But I don't know. The best mate, like Brock Purdy is my starting quarterback, which is always a great pick.
Listen, Brock Purdy's going to
season.
throw to. Brock Purdy has so many weapons to throw to.
Yeah, he's got a Yuck and Kittle.
Got Ayuk, Kittle, and he's got Debo.
And he has Debo. Yeah, he'll be fine. He was my backup last year, and he fucking killed it on the bench. Well, I had Lamar Jackson. So
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I need Breece Hall to have a great year, but it's the Jets, so who knows?
Yeah.
And then I have Neighbors,
Malik Neighbors
on the Giants, also a rookie, riding the bench.
He might end up being good, but it's also the Giants, and the Giants aren't great.
Yeah, it's because fucking like Daniel Jones sucks, and they just haven't admitted it yet.
Because they gave him an extension.
Yeah. Well, and Russell Wilson's my backup.
As long as he's still starting, that's a good backup for you.
Yeah, no, he's starting.
Yeah. No, I mean, as long as he's still the starter for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I think Mike Tomlin's going to do a good job with him because he's just a great coach.
Yeah. You know, Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season in the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the Steelers haven't always been a great team. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and somehow
the
he still has
Steelers
a
are always like 9-8.
winning record, or he
8-7.
breaks 500. Completely. Like,
Yeah.
it's absurd how he just doesn't have a losing record.
But honestly, dude, like I'm telling you, this is a sleeper. I got Dallas's kicker. He's the best kicker in the league.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine because Dallas is going to shit
Aubrey.
the bricks. Yeah.
Yep. Vikings defense, which is always hit or miss. And then I have Buffalo's tight end, Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid's a great pickup because
He's a great, yeah. Like I have good. And then once Brooks is playing again, and then once Marquise Brown is healthy, I'll have a pretty good team. I'll have Marquise Brown,
Hollywood Brown,
Mike
baby.
Evans, and Harrison Jr. as my wide receiver. Which is, I think, it's 3 pretty good wide receivers.
Mike Evans is like a guaranteed fantasy like point puller. Like he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, but he's also like
he's older
old.
now, so it's going to be.
He's
difficult.
on the brink of death. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still Mike Evans.
Who's the Bucks quarterback? Is it still Winston Jameson?
No, it's Baker Mayfield.
That's okay.
Nah, Baker.
That's okay.
Baker Mayfield's going to be fine.
And then dude, since Brooks is hurt, I had to pick up Miles Sanders, so he's his backup.
Yeah, well, you know,
And he's bad.
Yeah. I mean, you can get rid of him in waiver wire.
Yeah, but he's just until Brooks comes back. But he's gonna be fighting with Trouble Hubbard too. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, but the problem with the Panthers is they never have the football because their offense
They
sucks.
just turn it over all
Like-
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, it's bad when you're relying on the Jets and the Panthers to have good offense and rookies. Who am I going up against this week? I'm going up against Burrow, who's really good, obviously. Raheem Morissette on the Dolphins. He's also got Stevenson on the Patriots, who's dog shit.
Ramondre.
But then he has really good wide receivers. You got Devontae, who's always reliable. Tyreek Hill, who's always reliable.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta on Detroit. Then he has Tony Pollard in his flex, so he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, Tony
Yeah,
Pollard's
the Jets-
in Tennessee. He's replacing Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Tennessee.
Yeah, he left the Cowboys.
Damn, good for him.
Smart move. I wouldn't want to work under Jerry Jones for that long either.
No kidding. And then, but he has the Jets defense and Koo, the Atlanta's kicker. So I have hope there because the Jets defense can be terrible playing the 49ers.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty for him.
And Young Ho Koo is just not good.
Nah, that dude has a leg.
He does, but
It's also going to be
but then-
Atlanta, so you're going to have a lot of opportunities for him to kick.
Yeah, but dude, I had him a few years ago. He's not that. They don't get that many kicking opportunities, believe it or not.
That's true.
And then his bench is trash. So as long as Tyreek Hill and Devontae don't have great games and Tony Pollard don't have great games, but Joe Burrow is facing New England, so
Oh, Joe Burrow's going off. Joe
Yeah,
Burrow's going off on New England.
yeah, but Joe Burrow was trash. Well, he was hurt last
He-
year. He played hurt last year.
Yeah, he fucked up his thumb and he was out for a while.
Yeah. So Joe Burrow is a big question mark. So, but Tyreek Hill, it's going to be depends what Tyreek and Devontae do. If they have bad games, I'm going to win.
That's what screwed my season last year. Because like Joe Burrow got hurt, I was like, all right, I got Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So they had completely different QBs than the QBs
Yeah.
I drafted. I go, this fucking sucks. I think I ended up with Jared Goff at the end. It actually was very helpful.
Jared Goff's okay.
Let him to an NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So he does what he needs to do. Anywho, I'm gonna get out of here. Speaking of which,
All right.
I'm probably gonna just go back into my college football and do some recruiting.
Yep. I got to watch the third episode of Rings of Power. So
I only watched number 1.
I think it's fine. Honestly, episode 2 is better. I mean, this
Episode 1 was a lot. Episode 1 was a lot of recap, which because I was like, I haven't
Yeah.
watched this in a long time. What do I need to know? I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Galadriel wants the rings. Elrond's losing his mind.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like, you just got deceived by the most evil guy in the world. Why are we trusting him? He built the rings. But she's like, but they're pretty and powerful.
And he's like, yeah, made by literally the person that could kill all of us.
Yeah, I don't know. Lore wise, most of the show is pretty good so far.
Mhm.
Like I thought season 1 was fine. I thought it was a 6.5, 7 out of 10. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I do think the show has a problem with too many characters.
There's a lot. It is one of those things where they did the whole split storylines, and the stories haven't come together yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Either way, it's a fantastic looking show. Like I love the cinematography of the show.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
watching it in 4K.
And it feels like Middle Earth.
Yeah, watching it in 4K. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is wild.
Yeah, I'm watching it on 4K on my big TV.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, I got to get up to that because I think there's a new episode. What, Thursday?
I don't know. They released the first 3. I think it is Thursday.
Yeah, because that and I also watched Bel Air too on Peacock.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
All right.
let's get out
let
of
you
here,
go.
folks. We'll see y'all later.